As you can see, a shop full of trucks. Howdy guys. Want to show you one of our trucks that just got back in yesterday. I made a bunch of footage yesterday and I lost it all. Here I had it on time lapse instead of video. I had made a video on taking a truck out and swapping a truck out with our lift. I'll show you guys our lift here. Basically it hooks up to the back of one of our trucks, and we can tow our own vehicles, tow our own trucks around. So what we did is we towed a good truck out to a bad truck and towed that truck back in. So this is our Pro Tote lift. Works pretty slick. Not that long to hook up. What happened, this truck had a radiator go out, started leaking in the bottom corner. Could have been a stone or something that nicked it. Anyway, somehow started leaking pretty bad. So we got that out, and I'll mention as well, the cool thing is about having, you know, a lot of the same trucks is, see if we can find that leak. I think it's somewhere down in here. The cool thing about having, you know, a lot of Kenworth W900s or the same truck is that, you know, radiator like this, I think we have one in stock, and we'll grab one up off the shelf and put it in. So we have, I'm not sure, I probably 15 or 20 W900s, 15, 18 maybe. So also want to show you guys this truck. So this truck is a 2006 W900 that is here in the shop. We're just doing a service on it, but something I wanted to point out on this truck is this truck has 1.4 million miles on it. 1.46. And we've had this truck since 2012. December of 2012, we bought this truck. $45,500 we paid for it, and it had 830,000 miles on it. So just to give you a little idea, I feel our guys do great on service. This has been an absolute great running truck. We did the transmission, we switched it out from a 10-speed to a 13-speed. You know, we did some minor things to it, but nothing major. You can see it's the MXS motor, 475 cat. It's stock. The only thing I think we did was we had swapped out the computer. Jerry Martin Repair down in Pennsylvania. We made it for a little better fuel mileage. I'll let you guys know the fuel mileage here in a little bit, but that's the bad thing with these ACERT motors, is the fuel mileage is not cool. Now, what I wanted to say is this truck, this motor is time for a rebuild. It has got a lot of blow by. We've been changing oil quite frequently on it. The oil's very thin. So you can see this is a twin turbo setup. Question is, do I want to put a single turbo on, or do I want to do a twin turbo setup when we rebuild this motor? This thing is due for a rebuild, probably in the next month or so. I know it seems kind of crazy to spend 25, 30,000 on a rebuild on this truck with 1.5 million miles on, but at the end of the day, you know, it's been a solid truck. It does have some rust. Unfortunately, we live here in upstate New York, where they spread granular salt, and they also do a lot of liquid salt that they spray on the roads. So you can see this frame, and it's a bit rusty, but we definitely have trucks with rustier frames. So yeah, what's your opinion, guys? Have any of you done the single turbo setup? We've put a lot of injector codes. We've done a lot of odd things to trucks just to gain a little bit of horsepower, and we learned the hard way it doesn't work. I mean, it does work, it does give more horsepower, but at the end of the day, these engines are not made to handle heat. And what happens is, with hauling 100,000 pounds every single day, they heat up, they get hot, and these engines will only last 300,000 to 500,000 miles. This is our second motor now that has got almost 1.5 million miles on a stock motor. That's what I'm looking for, is longevity. Now the other thing is, this truck compared to a new truck. So we have several new, I say new, they're 2019 W900s that we bought new with emission motors, and they have the 500 Cummins 13 speed, got to add def, all the good stuff. Comparing fuel mileage, and this is why guys want gliders. That's going to be in another video, why guys are paying $200,000 for gliders or $225,000 for gliders to get rid of the emissions. I'll let you guys know the fuel mileage on this truck and the fuel mileage on our emission truck, and you'll see that there's not a lot of difference, even with this truck with 1.5 million miles. Now, I know I'm kind of jumping around here. The other thing I want to say about this truck is comparing to a new truck. If I bought a 2000 and say a 6-year-old truck, 2014, 2013, 2014 truck, and with 800 some thousand miles on it, that's been stock, and try to run it to 1.4, 1.5, impossible. If there's someone out there that can do that, God bless you, but you're gonna have a lot of trouble with emissions. You're gonna have to end up taking the emissions off. We actually have a 2008 truck with that we had to delete the emissions. There was we were spending about between $2,500 and $3,000 every 3 months to fix that truck. So those emission motors, I kind of don't like. These ACERT motors have been a great motor. The 2WS motor, the 5EK, 6NZ, they've all been great motors. These new emission motors, compared to these old cats are gonna outlast it all day long. Our 2008, I think we rebuilt that 3 times, and our 2015 we rebuilt, I want to say this is the first or second rebuild. This is the first rebuild. We just, that Burgundy Peterbilt, I don't know if you guys remember seeing it. It was the one I went with to pick up the new Titan hopper bottom. That one has around 600,000 miles on. So, and it's a rebuild already. So I'll go up and check the fuel mileage. We have a pretty cool fueling system where when these trucks come in to fuel up, they type in their miles, they type in the truck number, and they type in the driver. So I can see fuel mileage per driver, I can see fuel mileage per truck, and we're gonna look at the fuel mileage comparing that truck, that 2006, to our 2019s with the new emission motors. Again, keep in mind, guys, that we haul 100,000 pounds most of the time. That motor on this truck from 800 some thousand miles to now has been running a lot of heavy loads. Oh guys, and one more thing before I show the fuel mileage. Here's another truck that we got in the shop. This one, you know, you buy these trucks, most of these trucks, actually all these trucks in this shop, we got 4 W900s in here. We have more Kenworths than Peterbilts, but so we got a service on the far one, radiator on this one. I think this one just got done with the service. This one, we're gonna be redoing the dash. And some of these trucks you buy, the person before took good care of them. The next one is not taken care of as well. So if you look at this dash, I don't know if you can see these holes. I mean, this dash is just vibrated apart. I don't know if it's because they were running this truck in the field. So where these screws are supposed to go into, the back part of it is actually broken out. So we're gonna have to redo the dash on the inside to keep everything from vibrating. And one more thing about this dash, I know some guys don't like this dash, but I think this was my second favorite dash in the W900s. They've only made this one for a few years, and I don't know, maybe even 2 or 3 years. You can see how it kind of comes around. This was one of my favorite dashes. My most favorite dash is the flat dash. We have one truck with the flat dash in 1999, and something about that flat dash, I love it. Old school. All right, let's check this fuel mileage. So we have this fueling system called link to pump. The cool thing is I can run a report by driver or by truck. So I'm going to run this report from September 1st to April 30. And I go in here, click on model performance, and I can see the truck number 119. His average was 4.43 miles per gallon. So 4.43 miles per gallon for that 2006. If I bump down to our 2019s, the new emission motors, they are 4.42 on the low side to 4.72 on the high side. So that gives you a little idea. Now I got to add in DEF fluid yet, and that's another expense. So just some interesting numbers. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and let me know also if you guys what your experience is with the single turbo or the twin turbo. My guess is I'm probably just gonna rebuild the motor, put a twin turbo setup back on it, just leave everything stock 475 and continue to run it, unless there's somebody out there that wants to buy the truck. So we could do that too. Guys, have a good day. Drive safe.